Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the pre-week analysis. I will be giving you guys my pre-week analysis on where I see markets going this week. Before I jump into it, I would just like to make a quick disclaimer that nothing that I share on this video is financial advice. Everything that I share on this video is for educational purposes only. Okay, cool beans. Now that I got that out the way, let's jump right into it. So, starting out with the dollar index, as always, I want to draw your attention to the weekly buy side liquidity and the weekly sell side liquidity. These blue levels that you see are weekly levels, and the black levels that you see are daily levels. So this blue level that you see right here is the consequent encroachment of last week's wick. So if I go to the weekly time frame, you see this wick that we're looking at right here. This wick from last week's price range. That blue level is consequent encroachment of that wick, meaning the 50% level of that wick, right? So here's what I'm looking forward to out of the dollar index this week. I want to see if price finds support above this blue market structure right here. This well, not market structure, I'm sure. This blue shaded area. And I want to see if we hold above that blue shaded area or if we sell and close below it, right? So if I go down to the dollar time frame, I'm sorry, the daily time frame, right? We see that blue area here, right? We see this volume imbalance from last week that price ripped through, right? And then we ripped back up through it Friday and closed above it. That's to me is saying that this bearish movement that we got to the downside was just a retracement from this bullish movement that we've seen from July up to now, right? That was just a retracement to run the previous week's sell side liquidity. So if I go back to the weekly time frame, we'll see that that weekly sell side liquidity was right here, right? We ran that last week and then price ran away from it and we closed above that daily volume imbalance, right? That we had right here. So I am expecting price to continue to run bullish because price action is showing me that it is very bullish from July up to today. And instead of closing below or staying below this volume imbalance that we broke through last week, we shot back up through it very aggressively and closed above it, right? So going down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see our daily PD array here, right? From last Friday's daily range. Just let me go back to the daily right quick so you can see that, right? This range right here from Friday. This is our discount PD array. And this is the sell side liquidity from Friday and buy side liquidity from Friday, right? And so I would like to see price find a support above that shaded blue area, right? What is that shaded blue area? That shaded blue area is a hourly inversion fair value gap, right? From right here. We came back above it, closed above it, right? And now that fair value gap acts as an inversion fair value gap. So I want to see one of two things. Either price sells below it aggressively, right? Or price finds support um, on top of that shaded area, on top of that inversion fair value gap, and continues to the upside. And I would like to see dollar. I personally think that we're going back to the yearly high, right? So I would like to see going back to the weekly time frame, right? I would like to see price run this buy side liquidity here, continue higher, and eventually um, during this quarter, the last quarter of the year, I anticipate price running that yearly high from March of this year, right? So looking at the hour time frame coming over here. Sorry, let me go back to the weekly. Daily. Okay, sorry. So here's that red shaded area that you see here. Um, volume imbalance, right? I would like to see price. Um, in my opinion, that's where price is being magnetized to, right? That's where price is reaching for, right? So as long as we hold above that hourly inversion fair value gap, I think that price will rip up to the upside this week, and we run this buy side liquidity here and run into this buy side liquidity right below that daily volume imbalance. Now, if price sells below this hourly inversion fair value gap, right? If we get an aggressive move below that and a close below that, then I expect us to pull back down into last week's daily discount rate, which is these two black levels right here, right? Now, if price pushes through this hourly inversion fair value gap, right, a little bit, that I will allot for that and still remain bullish. I will allot for price to pull all the way back down into this CB. Um, this BC, sell buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency as coined by Michael Huddleston, right? And as long as we don't, like I said, break below and close below this hourly inversion fair value gap, I will remain bullish in my analysis. However, if we break below this aggressively and close below it, then I anticipate price pulling back down to the um daily discount array from last week's daily price range, right? And we can see that weekly consequent encroachment of last week's wick sits right in the middle of that um, daily PD array. So that's what I'm expecting out of the dollar index for this week. So with that being said, I move forward to ES, right? And what I'm looking for out of ES is for us to pull back into last week's discount array, right? We had this bullish move last week out of E-mini S&P 500, and I'm expecting us to pull back down into that discount array, right? So taking you to the daily, we see our daily premium arrays here. Well, I'm sorry, that's not a daily PD array. That is the consequent encroachment of the daily wick from Friday, right? So I marked that because my overall bias for ES next week is for ES to pull back down into the weekly discount array. But I will allow for price to reach up and retest the consequent encroachment of that Friday's wick, right? However, I don't want to see us breaking close below that, above that wick. I would like to see us reject that wick, and if we get that rejection, that will be the confirmation that I need to short down to last week's PD array, right? So that's exactly what I'm looking for out of ES. Now, if we break above that consequent encroachment of Friday's wick aggressively and we close above it, then I expect us to run up into this liquidity void that we have here. I think it's on the 4-hour time frame. Yes. So liquidity void here for ES. If we break aggressively above that consequent encroachment and close above it, then that will be where I anticipate price to go to, right? And I will start longing from here up to there. But my bias for ES for this week is to the downside to pull back down into last week's discount arrays. Plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that being said, I have the same outlook for ENQ, right? I would like to see us pull back down into last week's discount array, right? And I will allot for price to pull back up into the daily premium array. And as long as we don't break above and close above that 79% PD array level, then my bias will remain bearish to the downside to run back down into last week's discount array. Plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, I'm going to do a currency pair for you guys this week, Euro USD. I expect Euro USD to be bearish this week, right? Target sell side liquidity here from May the 29th, right? That's where I want to see price run to. I don't want to see price break back above the daily premium array, right? So here's our daily range from last Friday. I don't want to see price break and close back above that 79% of that premium array of Friday's price range. I would love to see us reject the bottom, the lower level of this weekly fair value gap that we see here, shaded in blue, right? I would love to see us reject that. And that would be confirmation for me that price is definitely reaching for that weekly sell side liquidity. Being that I'm bullish for the dollar, as long as we hold that hourly inversion fair value gap, right, and the dollar goes bullish, that would give us the confirmation and the indication that Euro USD is going to continue selling off to the downside. So I will allot for Euro USD to pull back up into the premium array of last week's daily price range from last Friday. As long as we don't break and close above though that PD array, then that will give me the confirmation and the confidence that I need to short from these levels, right, on down to run this sell side liquidity here. But like I said, I would love for price to find to reject the lower level of this weekly fair value gap, right? You know what? I will allow for us to pull back up into that consequent encroachment of this weekly fair value gap, right? And I would like to see us reject here, right? So as long as we reject here at this consequent encroachment of this weekly fair value gap, then I would start shorting. I will start shorting from here, right? To run this sell side liquidity. Now we may not see all of that move next week if we reject the consequent encroachment of that weekly fair value gap. That's like 185 pips, but we could see Euro USD give us that entire 185 pips next week, right? So that's what I want to see out of Euro USD, and let's see how price action plays out this week, ladies and gentlemen. This week is a short week. Tomorrow is a holiday, so enjoy your holiday with family and friends, and keep your eyes on the market. We won't see a lot of volatility out of the market, especially USD pairs. Other pairs will be moving because it's only a holiday in America. So other pairs that don't have the USD attached to it will be moving. And so if you trade other pairs, then good luck. Stay disciplined. Keep your risk management in place. And for everybody else, I'll see you guys Tuesday. So I hope this added value to some of you guys, gave you some insight, empowered you, leveled you up, gave you a better idea on how I approach the market from week to week, day to day. So as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in to this recording, getting this knowledge and empowering yourselves. Let your family and friends know you love them while they're still here, please. And as always, peace and love, everybody. You know.